I thought I was going to a fancy anniversary dinner. Instead, he dumped me over bread and called me just a retail manager. Days later, I learned his entire life was a lie, and I exposed him. I smoothed my black dress and checked my reflection in the restaurant's gold-framed mirror. 2 years with Ryan, and he'd finally chosen somewhere this upscale. The crystal chandeliers cast warm light across white tablecloths, and I felt proud walking beside him. "Table for 2 under Morrison," Ryan told the hostess, his voice carrying that confident tone I'd fallen for. The hostess smiled. "Right this way, Mr. Morrison." I followed, heels clicking on marble floors. Ryan pulled out my chair with theatrical flourish, and I noticed other diners glancing our way. He looked good in his navy suit, the expensive one he claimed his executive position required. "You seem nervous," I said, reaching across the table. Ryan's jaw tightened. "We need to talk, Sabrina." The waiter appeared with menus thick as novels. "Can I start you with wine? We have an excellent Bordeaux." "Just water," Ryan cut him off. Something cold settled in my stomach. In 2 years, Ryan had never passed up wine at dinner. He ordered the most expensive bottles, always mentioning his corporate expense account. "Ryan, what's wrong?" He leaned back, studying me like a specimen. "This isn't working anymore." The words hit like ice water. "What do you mean?" "Us. This relationship. I'm done pretending we're compatible." My hands trembled. "Pretending? We've been together 2 years. We talked about moving in together." "I never said that." "Last month you did. At Cody's party you said—" "You misunderstood." His voice carried no warmth, no recognition of our shared memories. The waiter returned. "Have you decided on appetizers?" "We won't be ordering," Ryan said. He pulled out his wallet and placed a receipt on the table. "This covers the bread." I stared at the crumpled paper. $5. For bread we hadn't touched. "Ryan, please, can we talk about this privately?" "There's nothing to discuss." He stood, straightening his tie. "I've outgrown this relationship. You're a retail manager, Sabrina. I need someone who matches my professional level." Heat flooded my cheeks. Conversations around us quieted. The couple at the next table openly stared. "Your professional level?" My voice cracked. "I'm moving up in the corporate world. You'd hold me back." He walked away, leaving me alone with curious eyes and pitying whispers. I sat frozen, the receipt still on the table between untouched water glasses. The waiter approached cautiously. "Miss, is everything all right?" I folded the receipt with shaking hands. "I think I need that wine now." I called Vanessa from the restaurant bathroom, mascara streaking my cheeks. "He just left me here," I whispered into the device, watching my reflection crumble. "In front of everyone. I'm coming to get you. Don't move." Vanessa found me at the bar 20 minutes later, still clutching my wine glass. She wrapped her arms around me without saying a word. 2 years, I said into her shoulder. 2 years, and he called me a retail manager like it was contagious. "He's an asshole." Vanessa's voice was fierce. "Come on, Cody's making dinner." At Vanessa's apartment, Cody took one look at my face and pulled me into the kitchen. "Comfort food emergency," he declared, already pulling ingredients from the fridge. I curled up on their couch while Cody cooked and Vanessa made tea. Their apartment felt warm and safe, nothing like the cold marble of that restaurant. "I don't understand," I said. "Yesterday he was talking about vacation plans. This morning he texted me about dinner reservations." Vanessa sat beside me. "What exactly did he say about his job?" "Executive position at Morrison Industries. Corporate expense accounts, business trips, the whole thing." Cody paused, his stirring. "Morrison Industries?" "Yeah. Why?" "Brina, my cousin works there. It's a mid-size insurance firm. They don't have executives under 40. My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "I mean Ryan's 26. No way he's an executive anywhere, especially not Morrison. Vanessa pulled out her laptop. What's his last name again? Morrison. Ryan Morrison. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. After a few minutes, she frowned. That's weird. I can't find any Ryan Morrison at Morrison Industries. Actually, I can't find any Ryan Morrison matching his age in the whole city. The room went quiet, except for Cody's wooden spoon against the pot. Maybe he uses a different name at work? I suggested weakly. Vanessa's expression grew serious. Sabrina, when's the last time you were at his apartment? I thought back. He always came to mine, said his place was being renovated. For 2 years? The pieces started shifting in my mind, forming a picture I didn't want to see. He's lying, I whispered. Cody brought over 3 bowls of pasta. The question is, about what else? The next morning, I called in sick to work. My hands shook as I scrolled through Ryan's social media, seeing his posts with new eyes, photos of expensive dinners, business conference selfies, a sleek office background in his LinkedIn profile picture. I zoomed in on one photo, Ryan at a restaurant bar, same navy suit, raising a glass toward the camera. The background showed the same gold mirrors from last night's disaster. Vanessa knocked on my door around noon, carrying coffee and determination. I did some digging, she said, settling on my couch. Ryan Morrison doesn't exist in any corporate directory, but I found something interesting. She showed me her laptop screen. Ryan Kowalski, administrative assistant at Hartwell Insurance. Same photo, same age. My coffee went cold in my hands. Administrative assistant? Gets better. I called pretending to be a client. They transferred me to his supervisor. Turns out Ryan's been taking unauthorized extended lunch breaks and calling in sick constantly. I stared at the screen. The man I'd loved for 2 years was a complete stranger. There's more. Vanessa pulled up another tab. Remember that business conference he posted about last month? The one where he said he gave a presentation? Yeah, he was so proud. It's a stock photo. Same image appears on 3 different corporate websites. My chest tightened. What about his apartment renovation? I drove by the address he gave you once. It's a boarding house downtown, rents by the week. The room spun. Every conversation we'd had, every future we'd planned, was built on lies. Vanessa handed me a plastic card. Found this in my purse. He dropped it last time he was here. I turned the key card over in my hands. Hartwell Insurance, printed in small letters along the bottom. Administrative assistants don't get company key cards, Vanessa said gently, unless they steal them. I thought about all the expensive dinners, the designer clothes, the confident way he'd ordered wine and talked about business deals. How had I not seen through the performance? I feel so stupid. You're not stupid. You trusted someone you loved. That's normal. But it didn't feel normal. It felt like waking up from a 2-year dream to find myself in someone else's life. What am I supposed to do now? Vanessa's smile turned sharp. Now? Now we get even. I spent the weekend gathering evidence. Ryan's social media told a story of success and sophistication, but I now knew how to look for cracks. Vanessa and Cody came over Sunday evening, armed with takeout and strategy. So we know he's been lying about everything, Cody said, spreading photos across my coffee table. Job, apartment, probably family too. I picked up one image, Ryan at what looked like a family barbecue, arm around an older woman he'd called his mother. Reverse image search, Vanessa suggested. The photo appeared on a stock photography site. Happy family gathering, $12.99. My stomach turned. He bought a fake family photo. The question is, Cody said, what do you want to do about it? I thought about the restaurant, the pitying looks, the way he'd dismissed 2 years of my life with casual cruelty. I want him to feel what I felt. Vanessa leaned forward. Tell me more. Humiliated, exposed, like everyone can see through his lies. When's his birthday? Cody asked suddenly. Next Saturday. Why? Cody grinned. Because according to his Facebook, He's throwing himself a big party, invited everyone from his corporate network and his close family. I pulled up the event page. Dozens of people had RSVP'd, including several profiles that looked suspiciously fake. He's going to perform his whole identity in front of everyone, I realized. Exactly, Vanessa said, and we're going to be there with the truth. I felt something shift inside me. Not revenge, exactly, but justice. For 2 years, I'd supported his lies without knowing it. I'd believed in his dreams and celebrated his fictional successes. I'll need proof, real proof that can't be dismissed. Cody pulled out his laptop. Leave that to us. My cousin at Morrison Industries owes me a favor. As we planned, I felt stronger than I had since Friday night. Ryan had tried to make me feel small, insignificant beneath him, but lies have a way of crumbling, especially when someone shines a light on them. Are you sure about this? Vanessa asked as they prepared to leave. I looked at the photo of Ryan's fake family, then at my real friends who'd spent their weekend helping me rebuild. I'm sure. I arrived at the birthday party fashionably late, wearing my best dress and carrying a gift bag. The venue was another upscale restaurant, Ryan's preferred stage for his performances. He stood near the bar, holding court with a group of people I didn't recognize. Same confident posture, same expensive suit. Sabrina? His face went pale when he spotted me. What are you doing here? Celebrating your special day, of course. I smiled sweetly and handed him the gift bag. Ryan hesitated, then opened it in front of his audience. Inside was a photo, the real Ryan Kowalski employee ID that Cody's cousin had helped us obtain. His smile froze. I thought your friends should see the real you, I said loudly enough for nearby conversations to pause. This is inappropriate, he hissed. Is it? You invited me to celebrate Ryan Morrison's birthday. But that's not your name, is it? A woman beside him frowned. I thought you said you were an executive at Morrison Industries? I am, Ryan said quickly. I pulled out my phone, displaying the Hartwell Insurance website. Actually, you're an administrative assistant, and according to your supervisor, you've been stealing company property. I showed the group the key card photo Vanessa had taken. That's not... I can explain. Can you explain this too? I swiped to the stock photo comparison. Your loving family that you bought for $12.99? The crowd around us grew larger. Phones came out, recording. Or how about the business conference where you gave that important presentation? I showed the stock photo evidence. Ryan's face went from pale to red. You're embarrassing yourself. Am I? Because I think your friends deserve to know they've been celebrating a fiction. A man in a gray suit stepped forward. Ryan, is this true? About your job? She's lying. She's my crazy ex-girlfriend. I'm not lying. I turned to address the whole room. And I'm not crazy. I'm someone who spent 2 years believing in a person who never existed. The restaurant went quiet, except for the clink of glasses and whispered conversations. Ryan grabbed my arm. Stop this. I pulled away. Like you stopped humiliating me last Friday? In front of a room full of strangers? His grip tightened. That was different. No, Ryan, it wasn't. Security appeared, drawn by the commotion. As they escorted Ryan toward the exit, I heard someone say, "Wasn't his last name Morrison?" I picked up the crumpled receipt he'd left on the table, the same $5 receipt from our disaster dinner. Keep this, I told the woman who'd questioned him. A souvenir from the real Ryan Morrison's birthday party. 3 weeks later, I sat in my favorite coffee shop, scrolling through job listings on my phone. The morning sun streamed through windows, warming my face. Assistant manager position at Morrison Industries, I read aloud to Vanessa, who sat across from me grading papers. She looked up. The irony is beautiful. Cody's cousin says they're looking for someone with retail management experience. Apparently, they value honesty and reliability. Imagine that. I submitted my application, then set the device aside. The coffee shop buzzed with morning energy, people starting their days, pursuing real goals, building authentic lives. "How are you feeling?" Vanessa asked. I considered the question. 3 weeks ago, I'd been devastated, questioning everything I thought I knew about love and trust. Now I felt lighter. "Free," I said finally. For 2 years, I was supporting someone else's fantasy. I lost myself trying to be worthy of a person who didn't exist. And now? Now I remember who I am. I'm a good manager. I care about people. I don't need someone else's approval to have value. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Ryan. We need to talk. I can explain everything." I showed Vanessa the message. "What will you do?" I thought about the girl who'd sat in that restaurant 3 weeks ago, devastated and confused. She would have answered immediately, desperate to understand, to fix things, to make herself small enough to fit into his lies. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I deleted the message without responding. "I'm done with explanations," I said. "Some people are stories you tell yourself until you're ready for the truth." Vanessa smiled. "And what's your truth?" I looked around the coffee shop, at people living their real lives, making genuine connections, building something authentic. That I deserve someone who doesn't need to lie about who they are to be with me. My phone rang. Morrison Industries, calling about my application. I answered with confidence, ready for whatever came next.